a member of the AMC ape community may have actually found the smoking gun to show that the synthetic shares with AMC is a legitimate thing. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. I do want to go ahead and start off by saying a big thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys have been absolutely awesome. And also, just a quick side note with that, I do have a link in the description for my Patreon, but we're very close to hitting our goal. We're about $10 away. Patreon does take 10%, so just keep that in mind, but we're very close to hitting that goal. If you guys want to become a Patreon supporter, the different tier rewards, all that you can find out for Patreon over there. But let's also just quick side note, I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinions, my own research. I encourage you guys to go do your own research. Let's go ahead and get into it. We can see AMC is up 5.7% on the day. We can see that volume did have a nice little pull up. So we've been seeing consistently here very low volume, a little bit of a pull up here, sort of suggesting that we're starting to get some momentum going on. We're seeing that largely playing into with what happened for the price movement over on the option side as well, because there are a lot of options that are currently out of the money that are starting to make that move into in the money, and that signifies that we are in transition of a potential further push with the gamma squeeze. So volume for the day at 67.4 million, a little bit of a kick up, but still way less than what we saw back here around May or back in January type period, right? So there's a lot of opportunity here. Nice little push up on the day, a little bit of a kickback, and in the after hours we can see it's holding up pretty well. And the price we're seeing on TradingView is pretty much in line with what we're seeing on Webull. So taking a look at some of the other information that we have here, go ahead and take a look at the dark pool data. So dark pool data is showing 13.9 million shares on the dark pool, $581 million. So still over $500 million on a net positive side for dark pool. A lot of activity going on. We see as far as for shares available to borrow, 85,000 shares and over 5.3 million ETF shares available to borrow. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Just heads up. There we go. Okay, so we got that out of the way. And then we got the fee rate we can see here. It's been hanging around 0.8 to 0.9%. Right now it's at 0.7%, so that's a little bit down. And then let's go down here to the options contracts I was talking about. 231,000 out of the money, 75,000 now in the money. A lot of people are concerned and they're trying to raise awareness to this because this is where traps can happen. The identity of this week is around $40. People are concerned that a run-up is suggesting, hey, we closed today above $40. Potentially what we're going to end up seeing happen is that for Friday, they try to pull it down just below $40. And by doing so, there's a massive amount of call option contracts that do expire out of the money. And guess what? That money goes to the market makers, right? They end up getting all of that, and it just gives them more money to fuel all of the shenanigans of things that are going on. So there's that. So really be careful with those things, guys. Option contracts are very dangerous. And then looking at some of the other information that we have here, this shows a 68% increase according to Fox Business, up from 2020 in regards to foreclosures. There's 45,517 foreclosure notices. So why am I mentioning this? In 2008, it was the housing market crisis, and we were led into a recession, and we're seeing a lot of other signs of economic instability. And, the mortgage crisis had a lot to do with the lending systems, what was going on with banks, and how they're trying to handle that. So if there could be another economic collapse soon, the thing is that we need to have margin calls, and the margin calls would then end up leading into executions on these contracts for the options, for the failure to delivers, the people that are shorting, things like that, right? Really got to make sure that people are paying off what they're supposed to be paying off. Next thing right here is posted over on the AMC stock subreddit. This is from Donahue George over on Twitter, technically. It says the defendants have until October 14th to respond to injunction to stop trading AMC and GameStop in the dark pool until accurate share count is done. Then I have 7 days to file my reply. If judges grant injunction, we might see real price of AMC and GameStop for the first time. And so he also tagged the SEC. This is awesome news if it does end up developing into something. It's one of those things where people are like, okay. I mean, hopefully it happens, but a lot of people are kind of like, I don't know if I have much faith in this one guy just trying to go after him. But, give credit where credit is due. This guy is trying. If he can pull off some things, it's going to help a massive amount of people. And this guy is going to be a legend. This guy would be a legend. And so today is October 14th. We're going to wait to see what develops further with that. As far as DRS goes, so for example, Computer Shares is a company that handles stuff through DRS. And this was described over here very interestingly. And so it says, holy crap, everything just clicked. Seems like the cat is out of the bag on brokers who give retail investors literally nothing, an IOU, and take your money. It would seem then that retail has been providing the rehypothecation liquidity all along, as these are all long positions, also known as dumb money. If I was a bank, I'd automatically open a short position on you anyway to hedge against your share. That way, if you take your ball home, I win twice. It's not going to go long unless I already knew it would. Since you have no ability to apply buying pressure because I merely gave you an IOU, made evident by the fact that this whole thing has gone on for 9 months. What's happening with GameStop these past 9 months is by you simply holding your IOUs, you broke this whole part of the system, quote unquote, algo, whatever. So now by registering your shares directly, you have literally stopped the game. Edit. It all makes sense. Why they call it dumb money? Because you are all long. And if you do buy an option call put, you give market makers cold hard cash directly this time. Where the liquidity has been coming from to keep shorting, why the gamma ramps are insane, why they can keep this up for literally ever, why they are crapping their pants due to apes DRSing. Never before has this happened. You guys have to keep DRSing and you win. That's what it was saying there, right? So yeah, that is definitely an option. If people are concerned about things like Webull, Robinhood, those kinds of markets, make sure you go and find a DRS. There are people that are pro DRS. Some people are kind of against it, this and that. There's different pros and cons to it for sure. And people are just trying to help ensure that, like, exposing the market for what it is, that this is something that looks like it would probably help. And some other information for you. This was shared over on Twitter. I don't have access to the same data as what they do, so this looks to be like the correct information. Estimated short interest change is up 0.9%. Estimated current short interest percentage of the float, at least being what's reported from Ortex, is at 17.79%. And a lot of people don't believe that's legit right now. Estimated current short interest, 91.01 million. Return shares, etc. We got that. So then just kind of finishing up right here. Smoking gun evidence of synthetic shares. CM Equity is required to hold 400 million shares of AMC to back the tokenized stock. I'm betting they don't. If they somehow do hold 400 million authentic shares, then WTF have we been buying? Right? That's a really good point. It says, what are tokenized stocks? These spot tokens are backed by shares of stock custodied by CM Equity. They can be redeemed with CM Equity for the underlying shares if desired. And it shows right down here, AMC Entertainment Holdings tokenized stock FTX, 400 million. It's identifying 400 million. Keep in mind, there's a little bit over 500 million shares that supposedly exist. So, like, all the other institutions, regular retail investors, you're telling me that we got that very small percentage and they just happen to own like 80, 85% of everything? I don't believe it. One of the most important points is that depending on the exchange, tokenized stock may or may not have collateral behind it. Tokenized stock without collateral is a synthetic security that the crypto exchange or intermediary writes into existence on a blockchain somewhere. CM Equity is fully regulated in Germany and is a licensed financial institution permitted to offer such products. CM Equity custodies the equities at a third-party brokerage firm. CM Equity, not FTX Trading Ltd., provides the brokerage's services. So it's very interesting information. I'd love to know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I do have referral links in the description. So if you want to just get free money, I got Webull as a link there, but by signing up, you guys do get free stock. It's their little promo thing. You can check out the details there. There's also free cryptocurrency with the links in the description. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. Hit the thumbs up like button. It helps us out with the YouTube search algorithm. And click the bell icon. I go live sometimes. I would love to have you guys come and hang out with me. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.